Good morning on Tuesday, December 6th. It's time for episode 149 of the 359 podcast, and today I am here with Roger Chang and Alfred Ng. Good morning, guys. What is going on the show today?
Morning. We've got a busy day. We're going to be talking about the Apple Watch. Tim Cook is defending it. He's out there saying that record sales.
Best sales ever.
Best sales ever. So we'll break it down for you to see if that's actually true, or how much water that argument really holds.
Put that claim to test.
Yes. Next up, a firm is out there with a possible reason or explanation for the explosions with the Galaxy Note 7. We'll talk about that. And then lastly, we'll dig into the review of Google Wi-Fi, the new Wi-Fi home setup for...
Spoiler alert, it's very good.
There you go. So, as usual, if you have any questions on these topics, leave them in the comments section. Our producer, Brian, will pick out the best, and we'll try our best to answer them.
Alrighty. Let's
do
get
it.
this thing underway. And recording of the podcast will start in 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359, where we talk about the top tech of the day and all the other crap we want to throw in. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Alfred Ng.
So, the Apple Watch isn't a flop. CEO Tim Cook says that the wearable set a record for the first week of the holiday shopping season. A little dubious since he's never broken out the actual numbers for Apple Watch, but is this an encouraging note?
I don't think it is. I think the smartwatch market is I think the entire market is a flop.
Right.
I don't think he's lying when he's saying that it did pretty well during the holiday weekend sale, only because I think, smartwatches are a pretty good gift.
Right.
They're one of those things where you don't want to buy for yourself because I can't justify getting a smartwatch for myself. But if somebody gave me a smartwatch, I think it'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I think the timing is a little dubious. IDC just came out with a report yesterday saying that smartwatches are on decline as fitness trackers are on the rise. This is, in my mind, this is Apple, this is Tim Cook taking back some of the narrative of the fact that the Apple Watch hasn't done as well as expected by throwing out this little tidbit saying record sales, getting people excited about Apple Watch again.
The thing is, how do you say record sales though when you've literally released no numbers? That's so.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the game that companies love to play, especially if they don't give out numbers, because they can really say whatever they want.
Yeah.
You kind of have to take it at face value, right? Like, I'm not saying Apple's lying, but maybe the numbers were pretty low last year. Or they had a low bar to cross. So
I mean, I do think, again, like I said, I do think the holiday week kind of helps, considering like they did have like some pretty decent Black Friday deals for them. Maybe that's what
didn't they have gift
boosted it.
cards?
That too. That was a part of it.
All right. So next up, a possible reason for the Galaxy Note 7 fires, and I know this is a dead horse, but we want to keep beating it. Manufacturing engineering firm Instrumental did a teardown and found that there was no room for error when it came to the space around that battery. Batteries tend to swell a little bit when they're fully charged, so that aggressive design meant that when it was actually expanded and fully charged, there was much higher chance of it causing fire.
That makes a lot of sense considering, Samsung's original remedy for it was this patch that basically made it, your full charge is at 60% now.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is I'm a little concerned about it at this point. It's been a while now. Samsung hasn't said anything about the battery issue. They haven't disclosed anything, and I'm wondering if they're hoping that we all just forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, the most they've disclosed is we don't really know much,
Right.
and we can't figure it out. So I do think it's a good thing that these third parties are taking a look at it.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that their thought is, they tried making a phone so good that even they couldn't sustain it.
So good may not be the best way to put it, right? It's so thin. They were obsessed with thinness.
Yes.
Obviously getting this packed into a small phone, and that obsession
Flew too close to the sun and burned up.
Yeah, literally. All right, lastly.
Well, we reviewed the Google Wi-Fi today, and we're calling it basically like the best Wi-Fi option that you can have now. Some of the good points for it so far have been how easy it is to manage and set up from an app on your phone. And to me personally, I do think that the mesh Wi-Fi network is one of the coolest things that I've seen. I mean, it's not like this is the first time that I've ever seen it, but every time I see it, I just think this is, I don't have to worry about getting like worse internet when I'm in my kitchen versus,
right. And these meshed Wi-Fi systems have been somewhat complicated to set up. I mean, you kind of have to be a little bit more technically savvy to set it up, more so than setting up a home Wi-Fi router. So having Google Wi-Fi do this or make this as simple as possible is really a good step. And at the same deal, like, I mean, I have an apartment, and on one side of the apartment, my signal just isn't as good as it should be.
I do wish that it was also a modem though, just because it's like right now I'm paying like that like weird rental fee
Yeah,
they have to do
yeah.
from your cable company.
Well, I have
I
that.
could also just buy my own modem.
Well,
right?
I have that's the gripe I have with FiOS is because I can't actually I can't use my own modem.
Yeah.
Like I have to use their modem.
Yeah.
I have to pay the rental fee, which always annoys me.
Yeah, that's frustrating. So I do wish it had that, but for what it is, it's a very good product.
All right, for more on these stories, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Alfred Ng.
Thanks for listening.
The first question in the chat today is from Hugo. Should I skip my study time to listen to you?
Yes.
What are you even studying for,
Yeah,
dude?
come on, man.
What are you studying, Hugo? We're
it's the
curious.
yeah, isn't it like holiday break for everyone in school? No?
Is it?
No.
Oh, no, it's
No.
finals.
No,
finals.
dude.
Yeah,
What do you?
Oh, my God.
You're killing me.
Sorry, I'm like, oh, it's only December 6th.
Guys, remember Roger's old.
And just back from vacation, so in my mind, I'm still kind of semi on vacation mode.
Alan wants to know, how does the Google Wi-Fi stand up to the high-end routers that pros use?
You know what? It's not a router.
That's the thing.
It's sort of a mesh network. It extends the router that you have. If you've got like a pro,
So you still
level
have to
router-
have a base level, and
Yeah.
then the Google Wi-Fi
I mean,
is
like
meant
Yeah,
to...
that pro
to-
level router probably has better range than
Yeah.
your basic one. But if you have a large home or if you're trying to connect to
It also kind of
building
depends
or
on
something.
what your internet speed is. If you have like a normal like internet speed, it's like there's really no point. I'm assuming if you have a pro router, then it's gonna be like pretty quick as it is.
For sure.
So it kind of depends on like what the size of your home is. I think one of the bigger selling points for Google Wi-Fi is just the ease of setup for it, though.
How about putting it side by side with an Apple Airport?
again, it doesn't really stack up, right? The airport is, and I have an airport.
Apples and oranges, if you will?
Yes. Limited range. Apple Airport has limited range. It's a router, so it's not this mesh network that Google Wi-Fi is. The idea of Google Wi-Fi is you've got multiple hubs you put around your home, and that extends the network out.
Yeah.
So you've got a better signal everywhere you're around.
That being
your home.
said, though, I mean, if you're in an apartment like my size, I don't know how relevant that is.
Right.
Just because it's so tiny.
You live in Brooklyn, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing your home is
It's tiny.
tiny.
Yeah. So like at this point, I'm like,
I live in the burbs, so like I kind of need one of these mesh networks.
but my router is like so bad that like even when I go in like if I just try using my laptop in like my kitchen or like another room, like
It
that's
doesn't
not my
work.
living room. Like it works, but it's like slow as hell. Like
yeah.
like my phone on like LTE is faster.
Yep.
So
Michael says that the Apple Watch is by far the most popular smartwatch, but it's because of the brand, not the device.
yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
I would
definitely
say,
true.
yeah. I mean, also the competition's been pretty weak, right?
yeah.
I mean, Samsung's been out there; they've been pushing it pretty hard, but
I
I
think
don't see a lot of Gear S.
I would make the
watches out
argument
there?
though is that like Apple's kind of the only smartwatch company out there, not company, but like they're the only ones pushing the smartwatch as kind of like a luxury item.
Right.
Whereas others have been trying to go for it as like a utility kind of like device,
Yeah.
and
a
then
lot-
that's why they're losing to like
mean,
Fitbit and all these.
a
Fitness
lot. Yeah,
trackers.
exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of them are pushing this as sort of a fitness tracker alternative.
Yeah.
And like, but it's like 3 or 4 times more expensive
Yeah.
than say a Fitbit. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
It would be great if Google Wi-Fi was a combinator router modem. So do you think Google will actually venture into that realm and make their own router to complement this
I mean,
setup?
technically, it's already. I think modem is what that it doesn't have, which
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I wish they would, but I also don't know like how big the modem market is out right now.
Do you really think? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd kind of just take the default one that's given to me from my
Well,
provider.
I kind of have.
Yeah, but I pay like an extra $10 a month for it.
No, but
That's
I
all.
Yeah.
kind of have to because it's like hooked into what it uses a coaxial
Yeah.
connection.
I mean, just all the
want-
good routers that I like. I always do the math on these things where I'm just like, okay, well, if I get a good router, no, sorry, if I get a good modem, which is like about like $120 for like a decent one, then it's like, okay, I'm only gonna have like Time Warner cable or FiOS for about a year anyway. So it's
Right.
just one of those things where it's, well, I might as well just pay the extra 10, but then I don't get to keep it. But then then comes the issue of if I switch to a new company and they say, oh, your like, modem's not compatible with our like system, which has happened
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
So it's all very frustrating.
Exactly, that's my gripe with FiOS because I don't think I can't use my own modem.
Yeah.
Like even if I bought one,
Yeah.
they're like, nope, sorry.
It's so frustrating. If
Yeah.
it were up to me, like in an ideal world, we wouldn't even need modems and things would just be wireless.
I mean,
Oh,
eventually.
that's 5G, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's the world of 5G. That's
But
what
we
I'm
still
waiting
got
for.
some time for that.
We
Yeah.
have many years.
So yeah, I mean, with that in mind, I would probably assume Google's probably not looking into the modem market.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're looking more at wireless solutions as opposed to something that's hooked into your physical connection.
Yeah, home network is kind of a waning concept, I would say.
Yeah, even look, even guys like Verizon, AT&T, like their vision is to connect your home without any wires.
And then speaking,
cheaper for them.
Yeah, speaking on that note though, with Google Wi-Fi, I would assume that the best usage of it would be in like malls, like not even homes, but just like like think about how big malls are.
Right. Well, malls, I believe, use more professional grade
Yeah.
extenders, right? They have like you'll see those giant modems kind of attached throughout the mall, creating its own mesh network. I think that's a little bit more business grade. Like Google Wi-Fi probably can't handle the kind of capacity that's required in a mall.
Yeah.
Going back over to the Samsung, we'll take a couple more questions before we have to wrap it up. If it's universally a battery problem, why has only a fraction of like 1% actually quote unquote exploded? Makes no sense. Why is no one talking about the third-party cheap charging cables?
I mean, that's a good point.
Excellent point.
That definitely, I think, makes increases the risk of an explosion. I think the fact that it's just a tiny fraction, it's not guaranteed that these phones are going to blow up, but I think it's just a matter of the design, the way it's all packed in, increases the odds of an explosion.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's guaranteed.
There's a lot of factions at play here, but it's simply one more concept of a liability in this case.
And also, it's not
frankly,
like these charging cables are doing it to other phones though.
Well, that's the thing.
We've heard a lot about
it too.
some of these Apple problems too.
Yeah, third party. I mean, usually these like unknown third party accessories. For one, I think you should just never buy them, never use them. But they do contribute to the problem. But I don't know if it seems like the Note 7 problem is more isolated specifically to the battery. It's not the cable. The cable stuff is sort of a standard problem throughout the industry. Like, the Note 7 problem is its own issue.
I mean, I have more than a few Amazon basic cables floating around my home because they are very cheap. And now I'm really starting to reconsider my decisions after seeing what's going on.
Are those things MiFi for iPhones? Are they MFI?
I don't know.
Compatible? Like if you buy a third party one, it'll usually say MFI or made for iPhone or made for iPad. That usually
maybe I should start paying better
that's
attention.
more the sort of the seal that Apple grants to third party accessory makers that this actually works and is approved.
But wasn't that part of the problem? They were manufacturing fake seals.
Yeah, some of them were.
So
yeah,
damned if you do.
Yeah, a lot of the counterfeit stuff that I'd seen from that warehouse.
Yeah.
So they also had fake boxes and like fake labeling on that too. So it's really hard to tell.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to make a label up.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more. Can you hardwire the Google routers through the house if Cat 5 is run throughout the house? Are they explicitly wireless?
No, they have an Ethernet port on them.
They do have a port on them.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, that's what you're asking. I mean, that would be a lot of trouble, though. You're wiring it.
What's the point of that, though? Yeah.
I mean, you can, but it just seems like a lot of trouble to, I guess, guarantee.
Well, he's saying he's already got that kind of pre-run, and he's maybe thinking about upgrading his hardware.
Yeah,
okay.
They all have.
Could you supplement it with?
They all have
that?
Ethernet ports, so yes.
I take it back. One more. Broad sweeping. What are your predictions for companies in 2017? Apple, Google, Amazon.
Wow,
that's a very broad.
I think we'll probably be covering this a little bit more before we wrap it up for the 2016 season, but maybe put it in the back of your heads for now.
Yeah, that's something to think about.
It might come out with the iPhone 8.
Maybe. iPhone X. I don't know. That's my bold prediction. They're going to rebrand it.
All right.
I also do think Samsung's going to come back with a Note 8 from every indication I've gotten from them. I feel like they should scrap the whole brand, but I think they're gonna come back end of the year.
I'm looking forward to Andromeda.
Try to erase the memories of exploding phones.
And then I think Google is going to try to resurge tablets a little bit more of this whole Andromeda thing going on.
I think their next big priority is getting the wearable. Like we talked about how crappy the wearables are right now. Getting the watch sort of back on track because they kind of not dropped the ball, but they've deprioritized Android Wear this year, and I think we're going to see them try to at least build back the market. Similar to what they did with the Pixel phone, I think we'll see some sort of Pixel-like watch.
Revi's saying the Pixel stuff is going to blow up next year, figuratively.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Not Samsung-atively.
Yes. I mean, I think it's already doing
easy
really
joke.
well.
I know we make it too much.
It's already been hailed as like the best Android phone this year. I mean, with
but you know what? Like
the
best Android phone title changes every month with like the newest Android phone. So All right, we've got to wrap it up there.
We do. I want to put
Yeah.
one pitch out for tomorrow for everybody who likes to join us on the regular. We love you. Thank you very much. Hit us up tomorrow with what your tech wish list is. What's on your Christmas list, Hanukkah list, whatever list for
Kwanzaa.
gifts you want to receive this holiday season.
We're not
from
giving
the
them
tech
to you,
realm.
by
We're
the
not giving them to you. I just want to start a conversation.
All right. So if you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is also available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, and Google Play Music. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.